With all the negativity around the 49ers, justified negativity in many respects, with all the negativity around the 49ers, it's easy to lose sight of the fact that they're 5-3 and the upcoming schedule is really quite favorable. Like, they go to the Giants, that should be a win, right? So that would make them 6-3. Rams, let's just count that as a loss. Just to be fair, let's just count that as a loss. So you're 6-4. 6-4. And then you have the Cardinals, the Panthers, and the Browns. At the Browns. I think the 49ers are due to beat the Browns. Just like I said, they were due to lose to the Buccaneers. They did lose. I think they're due to beat the Browns. Okay, so any way you cut this, they should escape the next 5 games around 4-1, which would put them at 9-4. 9-4. 9-4 heading into a bye. And then they come out of the bye week playing the Titans. That's a win. So all of a sudden, they should be, I don't know what's going to happen, but they should be 10-4. You're 10-4. You're obviously going to lose at the Colts. That's 10-5. And then the whole season comes down to the last 2 games. The whole season comes down to the Bears and the Seahawks. That is not a terrible position to be in. So if they were to sweep the last 2 games, which would be unlikely, but if they were to sweep the last 2 games, suddenly they have a chance to get the number 1 or number 2 seed in the NFC. If they were to lose both games, which by the way was my prediction during off-season predictions, I said they would go 10-7, fighting for a playoff spot at the end of the year. That was my prediction. You can still go see it. So that would be a win for me. So selfishly, I think that's what I would want, is to go 10-7. But yeah, I mean, for all the negativity, they're in pretty good shape. And whether or not they make the playoffs, I feel like this year could be good for the team. You got a lot of young players, getting experience. It's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to get rid of all the old players and let the young players play. Well, it turns out that happened anyway, because all the old players got injured and all the young players were forced to play. So that's kind of what I wanted in a roundabout way. I would have preferred to trade all these old, overpaid, injury-prone guys for more draft picks so that you could package them up to get higher in the draft to get the O-lineman you need. That's what I would have liked to do, but okay, fine. Not ideal, but it's working out for the best. Now, can I just say, my position that Aaron Judge is better than Shohei Ohtani is becoming increasingly untenable. Okay? Because statistically, I'm right. Batting average, home runs, RBIs, OPS plus, WAR, even including the pitching, by every statistical measure, Aaron Judge contributes more to winning than Shohei Ohtani does. On the other hand, every goddamn legendary, iconic moment belongs to Shohei. Last night he went 4 for 4, 2 home runs. They walked him like 4 times. They were treating him like Barry Bonds. Okay, last year he was the first 50-50 guy, 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. When he clinched 40-40, he did it on a walk-off grand slam home run at home. So, like, at some point, I may just have to just take the L on this one. Okay, because I don't know what to say. Like, every iconic moment belongs to Shohei. It's kind of like Freddie Freeman versus Matt Olson, right? Like the Braves let Freddie, they had like a whole thing, but in short, they let Freddie Freeman go, and they signed Matt Olson, he's the younger player. They got him for slightly cheaper, and they got more years, and he has produced statistically equal to Freddie Freeman. So you could say that was a win for the Atlanta Braves. On the other hand, every iconic moment belongs to Freddie Freeman. Okay, Matt Olson hasn't done jack in the postseason, whereas Freddie Freeman is hitting grand slam home run walk-offs against the Yankees. He hit the home run last night to end the game. I mean, at some point, the stats stop mattering. So, at some point, it sort of becomes clear that the statistics aren't modeling reality perfectly. It's not capturing everything. And you can kind of just see it on the field. So at some point, I'm just going to have to admit, if this continues, I'm going to have to admit, okay, I was wrong. Shohei is better. We'll see. We'll see. Now, one thing I was right about, and I deserve credit for it, is Mina Kimes. I told you she was fine, and you guys were like, no, she's mid, she's average, blah, blah, blah. But here she is, Yale's hottest girl, circa 2004. Now, obviously, she's older now, but compared to normies, over 30, she's like a 10 out of 10, dude. You're not going to find anybody. Like, if you go to a PTA meeting, there's not going to be a hotter mom there than Mina Kimes. Forget about it. What are you talking about? Now, if you want to compare her to like what the K-pop industry is churning out, like technologically enhanced women that the K-pop industry is churning out, okay, fine. Then we could say Mina Kimes is like a 4 out of 10. We could say she's mid. Okay, fine. But that's not really fair. Like what they are using in Korea today, like what they're using in Korea now is the equivalent of Barry Bonds Clear. They're using the hotness equivalent of Barry Bonds Clear. And it's just crazy. Like, this is aespa. You know aespa? Like, I've seen these women prior to their enhancement, and they were like Fresno 3s. Okay, they were like Fresno 3s. Today, they would be like the queen of Burlingame. With the enhancement, with the hotness clear, they're like, Helen of Troy couldn't compete with this. So, yeah, if you're comparing Mina Kimes on a global scale, or a universal scale rather, then okay, fine, she's mid. But under every reasonable metric, she's a 10 out of 10. Normie's over 30, she's a 10 out of 10. It's just science.